Yellow in TV land. Hello, everyone. I hope everything and that that's the way it is. Let me just make sure that we are live. I just want to open up my the Yoda's workshop page so I can see. See, we are. I just want to make sure that I can actually see the comments. Joe Ferraro, good to see you, my friend. So, welcome aboard. Today we are doing a special Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. Let me get this right here. Okay. So, as usual, comme d'habitude, je suis live sur mon compte personnel Facebook. I'm live on my personal page on Yoda's Workshop and also on YouTube. I'm able to see the comments that are usually posted on my Yoda's Workshop page, and I'm supposed to be able to see the others, but sometimes I don't, so don't worry if I don't reply to your comments. It's not because you are not with us. Tomorrow night's MMC A New Hope. Yes, it is. It's episode 1,300 something. But over here we're at episode 36. Look, it's going right here. 36. Oh, it's gone. Donc, c'est ça. Aujourd'hui, nous allons parler de Star Wars Épisode 4, A New Hope. And you're going to say, why are we doing something on Episode 4? Well, to be honest with you, I have to consider that everything started there for so many things. Faut prendre en considération qu'il y a pas mal d'affaires qui ont commencé à cette époque-là, mettons, tu sais. J'ai-tu disparu, moi, là? Ouais, non, je suis là. Ben oui! Okay, let me take that old fart guy collecting thing out. I'm still new at this. So, I actually try to do my best, but sometimes it's not going very well. But hey, I'm learning every week. I never thought that I would do such a thing in my life, but here I am. Donc, c'est ça, j'apprends encore toutes les semaines. Des fois, ça bug, des fois, le son n'est pas bon, des fois, il pleut, des fois, on ne sait jamais. This week's episode is brought to you by this weird color drink. Perfect for cancer. That's what they say. Okay. I got my COVID shot, so I should be okay. Okay. So, why am I doing this? Well, episode 4 is like the year zero for so many things. Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope was not just... Salut, mister! C'est Christian Dany, mesdames et messieurs, and Ian Bennett. Prune face drink. Yeah, you're totally right. Episode 4 started so many things. It transformed the way we see sci-fi. It transformed the way we see movies. It transformed so many things. And I'm not going to go through the whole movie. That's not the point. This is not what I want to do. See, as you can see, I've put up my Star Wars Episode 4 German version. So it says right here, Star Wars. See? My German's not very good. Kirk's is pretty good, but mine not that much. So that's an amazing replica. It's not an original, but well, it's original since it was printed on this thing, but it's not something that came out in 1977. Don't worry, man. I'm even late myself sometimes at my own podcast. Yes, I am. Good thing that I never. Good to see you, Jim. By the way, good thing I never married, so because I was. That's for sure. I would have been late. Prune juice. No, it's not prune juice because I would run to the bathroom. So I'm going to just show you something right here. My partner is with me, but she's asleep, which is a good thing because she eats all kinds of stuff in the house if she doesn't burn all that energy stuck in that fur ball. So it's actually a sleeping carpet and not a walking carpet. Okay. So yeah, so episode 4 is it's major in so many, well, in the industry, and it made new directors and movie lovers, and it gave so many people the will or the taste of doing movies and wanted to go in this industry. So I mean, episode 4, what Lucas did is major. So let me check. I just had a video call and I found out I'm going to be a papa once again. No way, man! Jim! Congrats! Wow, that's great. That's really great, man. So I presume they use the samples I send by mail? I'm kidding! Of course! I wouldn't do that. Never. Okay. So congratulations, of course. Let's like make a I don't know, something shiny or special. The baby came out. Congrats, man. That's great. That's great. That's like our first vintage kids baby live. Wow. Just don't, if they actually do a sex reveal, the gender reveal, sex reveal, that sounded fucking weird. A petit fil. Don't call it that. It will be traumatized. Petit fil, I love it, man. Ah, c'est trop cool, ça. Yeah, I saw, I've watched a video yesterday of a gender reveal, not a sex reveal. Like, oh, yeah, yeah. So there was like this mom, and she was holding like a big thing. No, she was holding a pop thing that would come out blue or pink, and she's holding it like that. And her first kid, you know, the one that you actually try and say, okay, that one's not good. Let's do another one. And the kid is right underneath. And she pops the thing. Instead of popping up, it pops down right on the head of the kids. Boom! Oh my God, I'm gonna have a brother. Jesus. Anyway. Okay, sorry about that. So we were talking about Star Wars. Okay. So yeah, so what I want to do tonight, I don't want to tell the story. I'm not gonna tell you. So I think that this is actually what it meant, like I do sometimes for the series. What I did is I actually searched for pictures of that movie, and I realized something. Donc, pour préparer à ce podcast-là, j'ai cherché des photos sur Internet de épisode 4. And I realized that it's incredible how many pictures are actually, well, images are actually iconic. What I mean is, you would actually show that some of the pictures I'm going to show you guys tonight, and it's like showing a brand to a kid, like a 5-year-old, and of course that's McDonald's. Of course that's Burger King. Well, it's written Burger King. Of course that's, I don't know, Starbucks or whatever, big brand, and you're like, okay, so they actually know all the brands, or they can recognize like a what's this Star Wars you're talking about? Well, get ready to be mentally ill, my friend, after this show, because I'm gonna talk about it a lot. Yeah, so the images are so iconic that I would show pictures of that movie to someone that never saw the movie. Will be able to say that's Star Wars. And I'm not only talking about the characters, I mean just the images. They are so recognizable. Donc, c'est des images tellement iconiques que n'importe qui peut reconnaître que c'est Star Wars épisode 4. Ben, du moins, Star Wars. On va peut-être pas dire, ah, ça, c'est épisode 4. You have to keep in mind also that the great thing about this is, and of course, I'm going to say things that probably some of you guys already know, but I'm going to. This is too tight, man. Too tight. Ah, that's better. Okay. So, I'm probably going to say stuff that you already know, but maybe there's a few things that, yeah, it's a small indie movie. Well, it was filmed in Tunisia, so it's like a small Tunisian film. Uh, it may catch on. I, it's funny because I don't know if there's ever going to be a massive movie with so much impact in the world, in the entire world. I mean, and don't say like, oh, Titanic or oh, Avatar. No, that's not what I mean. I mean, Star Wars has been with every generation till up to this day since January, well, January till since May 25th, 1977. And I mean, I don't know to what we can compare it, you know? Is it like a great movie classic? Not really, because you're going to say, yeah, well, Citizen Kane was amazing. Yeah, but Citizen Kane didn't create. After Citizen Kane's, they were not like a huge universe created from that. We're going to say, oh, Casablanca is amazing. Yes, it is. But it's not something that created so much stuff. It's literally referenced in like, yes, you're totally right. And hello, folks. Greetings from Britain. Hey, I know it's late over here, but I'm Night Hall. Good to have you, man. It's fun to have people all around the world. I mean, we've got friends in Australia, we've got friends in the US, we've got friends over here in Canada, we've got friends on Mars, I think. Late for the party. What's up, Phil? Well, everything's great, man. It's Greg Marshall. Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't know to what we can actually compare it. Fait que je sais pas à quoi qu'on peut vraiment comparer. By the way, guys, I'm from New York City. Yeah, there you go. It's Don Slater, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight on Saturday Night Vintage Kids, it's Don Slater. It's the same shit from silent movie or take to take talking. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Its impact is major. I don't. It will probably, because we never say never, but I don't know what's going to match the impact of Star Wars 1977. I'm not talking about the old universe. I'm really talking about the release of 1977 of Episode 4, which was not Episode 4 back in the days. So anyway, it's major. It's major. So is it like going to be like not far from Liverpool, where the Beatles came from? Wow, that's amazing, man. That's amazing. Dr. Mad Studio, love your name. Love your name. See mine? I don't know if I can still put it up. Can I put it up? Can I put it up? Yeah, I can. Poof. See, I'm Vintage Phil, old fart collecting dude. That's how my girlfriend called me. Hey, old fart. Let's have some fun. Don't forget to bring your toys. well, not with that voice, you know. It's not that deep. You know, it's more like, come here, you know. Anyway, some of you guys know my girlfriend. So, okay, let's take that dude out. There you go. Okay, so yeah, perhaps it's never going to happen again, the impact. But is it going to be like Mozart and what Mozart did? Can we compare it to classical music? Or, well, you can compare what John Williams did, because that's going to last forever. I mean, what an amazing songwriter, soundtrack writer, song. It's not a song, it's music. A composer. There you go. So, what an amazing composer. The impact that this guy also have since even before Star Wars is uncomparable too. I mean, all the major big hits from the 80s, it's him. Well, most of them. So, I mean, Star Wars, like I said, it did not only bring some new stuff and revolutionized the cinema aspect. It really also brought so many more great actors, new actors, Harrison Ford, great composers and stuff. So it's major. The impact of Star Wars, I think, wow. What I was going to say for the new people, I usually do my podcasts. I'm trying to do my best. English, French, because we've got a French audience, of course, over here in Canada, in Quebec. So if you understand if you get few words that you don't have a clue what I'm saying, it's probably German. No, it's French. French is kind of a softer German, you know. Like in German, we say you know, that's like big, screaming, incredible. Go check that video on YouTube about German sounds and language. Like they compare like hospital, like in French it's hôpital, hospital, you know, hôpital. In English, hospital. In Chinese, hôpital, and in in German, it's I'm not laughing at you guys, you German people. I love you. It's incredible the difference in the language. See, even when you write it down. Okay. So your dad was 9 years old when he saw Star Wars. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so let's go back to episode 4. When it came out in 1977, I was 3 years old. Not even 2.5. So, was changing and things were done for fun and creatively ruled rather than corporate. Yes, you're right. See, that's the reason I titled that podcast "The Vintage Kids." we are that generation. We are that generation that grew up with that major impact. I mean, the internet was a major impact in our world. See? Perhaps. Can we compare it to the internet? Yeah, maybe. The impact was not as big as the internet, but it actually hit everyone around the world. I mean, you can go anywhere in the world and bring a Star Wars figure. I don't have one. I got this one here. You can bring Boba Fett to a kid in, I don't know, South Africa or in the middle of the desert somewhere, and you're going to show that kid that figure, and he's going to say, do you know what this guy is? Yeah, it's Boba Fett, you know, that super bunty, choo, 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 you know, not because he saw the book of Boba Fett, probably because he saw Empire Strikes Back. Anyway, so yeah, I was almost 3 years old when it came out, so I was not lucky enough to see it in the movies. If my mother or my father brought me to the movies, I don't remember. But no, I didn't see Star Wars Episode 4 in cinemas until 1997, and that's another story. Yeah, that's another thing. But I remember that I've watched it on TV so many times. Over here in Quebec, I've talked about this in another podcast, but there was something on Sunday night. Was called Les Beaux Dimanches, the Nice Sunday. And there was always a movie or a special special something like a special presentation, les beaux dimanches, the nice Sunday, the beautiful Sundays. And I remember that because back then, no VHS, there was like no fucking reruns. I mean, you've missed it, forget it. You have to wait a year to see it again on TV. So I remember that I was always looking at the beginning of that show, Les Beaux Dimanches, the beautiful Sundays. Uh, and I was hoping to see the 20th century logo. Vroom-tum, vroom-tum, vroom-tum. And when it was the 20th century Fox logo, it was like, oh, it's Star Wars. But it stopped at and it was like no. So I was like, oh man, it's not Star Wars. Because back then, if I'm correct, I think that the complete theme of the 20th Century Fox logo was only full when it was Star Wars. So, but sometimes it was Star Wars, and some of my friends were actually receiving like the TV guide, that French TV guide, le TV Hebdo, and we could actually see what was going to play. And some of my friends would like say, "Phil, it's Star Wars on Sunday night." I was like, woohoo! And we would tape it when the VHS would come out later in the 1980s, so we could watch it over and over again. But guess what? It was in 4:3. It was a fucking square. It was not in 16:9. It was not the theatrical version, as you guys can see here. That's a 16:9 screen. So the movies were shot in 16:9, but when they would play it on television before the widescreen HD came out, they would cut half of the screen. So let's say that my screen right here is the original release, okay? So you would actually get, let me get something. Well, I'm going to put my hands. You would actually lose that much of the movie. So you would not see what's behind this and what's behind this. So I never saw the version, the HD version, well, not the HD, the widescreen version until very, very, very late. Yeah, it was called Pan and Scan. There was actually someone that would like decide what to show, what's important. Like, we're going to show what's behind this. We're going to show what's behind this. And you could actually see the frame move, like, and the whole set will also move, like, so it was called Pan and Scan. And so I remember that when I've watched it for the first time as a older person, I was not yet a vintage kid. I was so amazed, and I knew this would bring me new stuff. It was like watching Star Wars for the first time again, because we could actually see what was going on beside what was hidden from us because of television. And for example, the shot when you actually see the screen when they're when Vader's trying to well, not even Vader, even Luke, when he's trying to hit the target in the Death Star, you could actually see more buttons on the side of the screen. But over there was like buttons that I've never saw. And when Luke is actually talking to Han Solo in the Yavin base, you can actually see on the side, on that side, there's actually Chewie talking to C-3PO, and that I never saw. So I remember that, and that's a long time ago. It was like, oh my God, C-3PO's talking to Chewie on the background. That's amazing. Never saw that before. Anyway, So that's the little story of the pan and scan and the television issues that we had to deal with. Là, je répéterai pas tout ça en français, là, mais vous comprenez, là, hein, à cause de la TV, on se faisait couper les côtés de la télévision, puis on pouvait pas les voir. C'est juste quand ils ont sorti le widescreen qu'on a pu voir qu'est-ce qu'il y avait sur ces côtés. Entre autres, Chewbacca qui parlait avec ses 3 PO. Mais tu sais, je sais pas, il s'échangeait peut-être des recettes, parce que tu sais, dans le Christmas Special, ils en font des recettes. Okay. So now I'm gonna put up some pictures. Okay, I'm gonna show some pictures. The great thing also about Star Wars is that there's a few posters that came out. As you can see, there's this one, right? Where is it? Right here. So that's the first one. That's one of the image that we actually recognize as Episode 4. I'm gonna bring up the others. Okay, so I'm going to be right here. All right, so I'm going to show you. Well, perhaps I'm going to go right here. Here I am. Oh, I'm going to... This or this? This or this? Ooh. I'm going to put this up. Okay. So, if my image goes down, let me know. While I see the pictures, I'm not going to be able to see your comments, so I'm going to go from one to one. I don't have multiple screens. Not yet. Okay. So, of course, that's a common Star Wars thing. And it's funny because, as you guys can see, it actually looks like the Y-wing is going backward. So, yeah. And as you can see, the Vader's sword is not like it is in the movie, and the Death Star is also not the same. Anyway, doesn't matter. Okay, so that's the second one. That's the other one that I've put on the top. Donc ça c'est un autre des posters d'épisode 4. Okay, so we're gonna, like I said, most of the images are actually iconic. I mean, you actually see this guy, and people won't probably be able to say, "Oh yeah, it's Grand Moff Tarkin, it's Tarkin," but there's a good chance they're gonna say, "Oh, it's Star Wars." How can you say it? Well, because of the guy behind, what you actually see in the sides right here that I've got in my office too. As you guys can see, I've got 6 panels like this one on my walls. Cut the crap, Phil. Widescreen. My bad to see it 21 times. Jesus. Yeah, it was like 25 cents back in the days. Okay. There you go. Okay. Am I still good? Okay, good. So, yeah, so like this iconic shot of Tarkin. I mean, that's one of, he's about to being blown up. So, spoilers! Okay, of course, that's another iconic shot. And it actually changed the special effect world by the creation of ILM. If you want to see a great documentary, go check the documentary that they did on ILM. Allez voir le documentaire qu'ils ont fait sur la création d'ILM quand ils ont fait Star Wars. Lucas didn't want to pay the other companies, and the other company they were actually like laughing at him. What you want, it's impossible. It doesn't exist yet. What you want is not something that we're able to give you. So he actually created his own company that is been called ILM. It's Industrial Light and Magic. So they created such amazing stuff. Again, if you show someone this, it will say, yeah, that's Star Wars. It's just funny that the laser beams actually like 2 lightsabers going towards the Vader ship. Anyway. So, of course, the TIE Fighters, iconic. Again, the trench run, iconic. This shot, I mean, I don't know if Mark Hamill actually played in something prior to Star Wars. Maybe he played in a few soaps, uh, but I mean, since 1977, this guy cannot walk around without someone saying "Hi, Luke" or "Hi, Joker." But anyway, that's another story because he did so many voices. But yeah, so Luke Skywalker. I mean, the perfect hero. Everyone would actually play the Star Wars fictional games as kids, and someone would be Luke, someone would be Han Solo, someone would be Chewie, someone would be Princess Leia. Anyway, so iconic. Also, iconic shot because he's watching at the two sons, the twin sons. There they are. Where in the world did you ever saw two sons in the same shot? Well, it's Star Wars. And the song, I mean, when I actually hear this shot, when I see this shot, when I hear John Williams' movie, I mean, I still have goosebumps. And I'm 48. And because it brings me back to this world, to this universe that I've loved so much as a kid that I still love as an adult. Okay, let me go check. Okay, let's move on. Oops. Okay, there you go. Of course, C3PO R2D2 in the dunes, in the sand dunes of Tatooine. And the fact that George actually created those characters out of other old movies, I forgot the name, I'm sorry, Chinese movies, Japanese movies, I don't want to screw this up. But they actually he actually was influenced by two characters that are in a great. It's the samurai something. Last Samurai. I, I I didn't take any note today. I'm going up my by what I remember, and my head's not perfect. I drink too much of this. So il s'est basé sur deux personnages pour créer ça. C'est comme to put the comic side of in Star Wars, like for kids also. Like the kids would love R2D2 and C3PO because they're like they bring the funny parts, the you know. So anyway, again, iconic characters. Oof, images are way too small. Sorry about the bad quality there. So of course, that's right after they received their medals at the end, and R2 is actually rebuilt because he's been blown up by Vader. Of course, this guy. Look how Ewan McGregor looks so old in 1977. Of course, this is Alex Guinness. And the sacrifice. I mean, I remember as a kid to see him actually sacrifice himself for the cause. I was like, what the hell is he doing? But I tried to understand why he was doing. I mean, c'est un film qui a eu un impact sur des enfants, une génération d'enfants qui n'avaient jamais vu ce genre, probablement de film-là, de science-fiction-là, d'univers-là, mais we loved so much the movie that it made us think so hard on trying to understand what was going on. And we were hooked. We were hooked. And we wanted to understand everything. Why is he sacrificing himself? Why is Darth Vader's wearing this helmet, this mask, and he's breathing and stuff? It was like so mysterious. The Clone Wars. So anyway, okay, let's move on. Except for Chewie. He got no medal. You're totally right. 7 samurai. I said the last samurai. I was close. Because when you're 7, you're almost last, you know? Okay. From a certain point of view. Okay, next up. Yep. Are we still good? Yeah, we're good. Yeah. Okay. So, of course, this is the conference room on the Death Star. Uh, it's amazing also that right away we understand that they're the bad guys. I mean, Vader is standing up. Everyone is sitting down. Everything is dark, is black. Vader is black, gray. They're all wearing like Nazis uniform. It's like it was easy to understand, but it was so complex that as a kid we understood, as an adult we understand even more. The details are important, the whatever they're saying is important. The atmosphere is important. So yeah, so as a kid we understand everything. Of course, that's a famous shot also. It became famous more in 1997 when the special edition came out because they changed it. But for me, Han always shot first. And the reason why, and I'm not going to make a big, long argument about this, but I mean, it's his character, it's his personality. He's a scoundrel. C'est un scandral. He's a good guy, but he's not that good. He's got a part of him that is going out of the boundaries, and he's ready to do some bad shit to get to his goal. And it's interesting also to see the fact that he would not shoot first. For me, it actually changes the relation with Luke and Princess Leia. What I'm saying is that the fact that you see him shoot Greedo, you can actually see more of an evolution in the character. When he becomes friend with Luke, he becomes friend with Leia. So you see him like, okay, he's a badass. He could like turn on anyone. But no, he actually have a heart. Donc, moi, je pense que ça change complètement la dynamique si Han Solo tire en premier, tire pas en premier, parce que ça change son arc, ça change son histoire, son évolution en tant que personnage dans l'épisode 4. Anyway, that was my 2 cents. And back then, in 1977, 2 cents was a lot of money. Yeah, I just wanted to pick up some power converters. You're totally right. There was no talk about trade routes and blockade, and yeah, yeah, you're right. As a 7-year-old, you're totally right. Even nowadays, I talked about this before, but episode 1, I've watched it again. Like I said earlier in another podcast, sorry about that. I saw it in the movies when it came out in 3D with my dad. My dad loved to go see those big sci-fi movie with all the technology and all the CG and whatever. And I was surprised how, I'm not gonna say boring, but how long it was. Like, oh yeah, that part. Oh yeah, that part. Oh yeah, that part. Some of the visuals are okay, characters okay, la la la. But it was like, okay, can we bring Darth Maul now or something, because politics again? And I was an adult, so I can't imagine like a 7-year-old. What are they talking about? Like the father would say, "I have no idea, kid. Is it a Star Wars movie? I'm not sure. Is it C-SPAN? I don't know. Okay. Okay, let's go back to this. I agree. The character development through the film made sense back then. See, you're right, Jim. You're totally right, man. You're totally right. Okay, let's continue. I'm sorry if I miss of your some of your comments because when I look at the pictures, I don't see your comments, so I have to go back. Up next, of course, another iconic shot. Uh, the fact that it was probably one of the first time we could actually see a hologram shot that looked real in the movies. Um, it's amazing. I mean, they did an amazing job. Again, you show this, even if you take out C3PO, you show this to someone. Do you know what movie this is? Of course, this is Star Wars. Iconic shot. Iconic shot. Of course, the Death Star. It's so iconic that they used it again and again and again. And I was surprised that in episode 7, they didn't say somehow the Death Star is back again or has come back. I don't remember what Paul Dameron actually says in somehow Palpatine, somehow. Anyway, so, I mean, the Death Star. It's a character in itself. C'est un personnage d'elle-même. Tu sais, elle n'est pas en vie, mais presque, là, tu sais. But God, I love the fact that Cassian Andor actually built that shit. It came from his own planet, too. Jesus, what a great twist. Spoilers. Okay. Of course. Now, of course, you understand that the pictures are not in order. I just dumped a few items, a few pictures in the folder, and I'm going through them. This shot. Everyone is talking about that shot that like hooked them right away at the beginning. Like at the first minute of the movie, this huge ship shows up and it goes right over your head. That was something that was never presented back then. So I would have loved to live that surprise because so many people are saying that's the shot. That's the shot for me. It blew my mind right away. I was like, oh, that's something new. And probably this is what I'm going to say something bad here. See, this is probably what what's his name? James Cameron is trying to do with Avatar. Like, I'm going to blow your mind with one shot. Ugh. Yeah. Remember Titanic? There was actually space for Jack on that blank. Anyway, so I think James Cameron blew my mind a lot more in T2, in Terminator 2, or in Aliens, that in Avatar, but that's another podcast, I guess. Okay, so of course, that's the iconic shot. I mean, yeah, I would have loved to see this shot in the movies without knowing it was coming up. To live the surprise, to be blown away. I would have loved to have that feeling. Okay, let me go check if everything's okay. Jimmy V, ladies and gentlemen. It's no moon. No, it's no moon. That's for sure. Most iconic shot in movie history. Yeah, probably. You're right. That and the two suns. Yeah, I mean, again, it's recognizable. On va reconnaître ça partout, man. Was amazing to see it burned in my memory as a 7-year-old. Wow. So you remember that shot when you saw it. That's amazing, man. Ian, that's a great. I would have loved to live that shot. The surprise, the, like the, yeah. But anyway, it's been so long. I've seen those movies so many times. I don't remember the first time I saw episode 4. And I'm going to say something huge right here. As a kid, I loved uh, Episode 4. But when Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi came out, I freaked out as a kid. I was in the perfect age to love the murder bears and to, I mean, Jabba the Hutt. I mean, Boba Fett, Bespin, Hansel and Carbonite. We're going to talk about it because we're going to go through the other movies too, but not tonight. But I mean, I remember that I loved Episode 4, but it was probably the fact that I've watched it so many times that when I was able to see, because I saw Episode 6, I saw Return of the Jedi in the movie, and I don't recall seeing Empire Strikes Back in the movies, but I probably did, but I don't recall. So yeah, I was probably blown away by Empire and Jedi. But anyway, I still loved Episode 4, but it was not my favorite one as a kid. Let's put it that way. The audience gasp. Wow, it's just one of those moments. Yeah, I mean, when was the last time that people actually gasp in the movie theaters? Perhaps in Avengers Endgame uh, when Steve Rogers, Captain America, actually, I'm not gonna compare this shot to Avengers. What I'm saying is probably the audience. There's so many shots of the audience going, you know, that's an amazing feeling, and that's the reason why they don't want to spoil everything. I'm so happy that they actually changed the way they present the thrillers nowadays. They don't put too much spoilers. I remember back in the 80s, you would watch the thriller. You've seen the movie. Every good shot was in the thriller. Boom, explosion. Boom, this guy's dead. Boom, what an amazing shot. But you would go to see the movie then, and it's like, oh, okay. I've seen everything in that movie, in that thriller of 2 minutes. Anyway, my brother and cousin were going to see it, and I said I wanted to go. He didn't want to take me. Being a little, oh, trust me, I know what it is, man. I'm also that little brother that was 3 years old, younger than my older brother. He didn't want to take me anywhere. I was like, oh, he was like, oh no, not again. Like, take your little brother, not that shitty fart thing. He's gonna collect Star Wars toys all his life. Ugh, you know. We sat right up front. Oh yeah, I'm still loving. I still love doing this. When I go to the movies, I want to be submerged by the screen. Uh, my little mind was held captive. The first time Vader appeared was so yes, yes, and we're gonna see this image next. People stood up and clapped at the end of Star Wars. Yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah, and I've experienced this as a teenager. I don't remember. Perhaps it was in Jurassic Park, but it happened. I went to the movies, or was it in Schindler's List or something? Uh, I remember at the end of the movie, people clapped and was like, Jesus, okay, man. So I'm not the only one that liked that movie. I don't remember which one it was. I saw it in for the first time on a VHS rental. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's probably same thing for me. Rental, and it was like I said in 4:3, not in widescreen. So we've missed 2/3 of the movie right there. The home watching thing doesn't cut it. Oh no, of course, of course. I mean, in that on that screen back then, that was actually radioactive. You would actually in The Simpsons. There's actually a shot there that the kid, I think it's Grandpa Simpson, he stands in front. You watch the TV always at the same spot. And Homer goes back to the house like 50 years later, and you can actually see the shape of no, it's Homer. The shape of Homer watching the TV. The radiation went right through him or something. Anyway, those were the days, man. Nowadays we cannot even give a 2x4 with nails to our kids and go play in the yard. Those were the days. Man, I was driving the car when I was 5. My dad would sit me and he would use the pedals. I would drive around. 5 years old. Hello, Mr. Officer. Those were the days. Okay. Back to the pictures. I would love them to run it once a year oh man, that would be great. And I'm not gonna, like I said, I don't want to talk about that today, but and not the special editions. Please put up the original release. Don't put that CG shit. Oh, sorry about that. Don't put up that CG. I mean, that's yeah. That's another thing. I was not against it, and it gave me the chance to see it in the movies back in 1997. But and I understand that it's actually George that decided to do the changes, but I mean, I'm gonna make a stupid comparison. Uh, the Mona Lisa. You don't take the Mona Lisa and put up some new shit on it. And it's funny because that's what they actually did. But you know what I mean? You don't take this piece of art, this masterpiece, and start toying with it. Like leave it like it is. It's good. Don't try to make it better. Uh, yeah. Anyway, it's like doing remakes. I mean, uh, just can't stand the remakes anymore. I was able to take my daughter to see Empire, the 40th anniversary. Wow, on the big screen. It was a special edition, but I told her these have to be seen on the big screens. Yeah, you're totally right. They could change your hairstyle. Yeah, no, I mean I love the buns. The buns are ooh, mmm, you know, great buns, sugary. Okay, let's continue with the pictures because we're not gonna end in 6 minutes. Up next, of course, the logo. I mean the logo. They're still using it in every Star Wars movie. And the crawl. This amazing crawl that George actually took from Flash Gordon. The television. Let me show you this. I think my dog is broken. Molly. Molly. T'es-tu mouru, Molly? Yeah, I think she's dead. I'm gonna have to put a mirror up her nose. We went to walk, and the walk was like an hour long. So, yeah, okay. Yeah. So the crawl. I feel looking for Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron. They are so hard to find. The new ones. I'm gonna have to check that out, man. The Galaxy Squadron. I don't even know what they are. I'm gonna have to check it out. Okay, so the crawl. Yeah, the crawl. I mean, iconic. So the fact that you actually know what's going on right now in that galaxy, it's really something that was new in the movies, not on television. And of course, yeah, that logo. I mean, that logo, the shape of the font of the letters, everything is iconic. Okay, up next, the Jawas. I mean, again, you're gonna show this to someone. Do you know what this creature is without showing R2? Yeah, the Jawas. I mean, they're like the Star Wars scavenger golem or something. Anyway, iconic again, and of course this hero shot. That's probably one of the most famous picture of the three heroes, the characters. Look how young they are. Jesus. Just him. He always looked like that. He actually looks like Burt Reynolds. Let's put him a mustache. So, I mean, Mark looks like he's 16. Carrie, she looks younger than her daughter right now. Uh, and Harrison actually looks like Indiana Jones. Anyway, iconic guns, of course. Okay, let's move on. That shot again. The way, what a way to introduce characters. You actually start not with the villain. You don't start with the most important character in the movie. You actually start with those guys. It's like, Jesus, what the hell? What's that golden rod and that garbage can rolling around in this white? Again, it's so clear. It's so easy to understand. Good guys, white. Bad guys, black. So it's simple, but it's deeper than that. And that's the amazing part of it. Okay. I want to do these sides in my office, but it's too small. So I'm not able to do it yet. I'm going to try to find a way. Okay. Up next. Of course, another logo, the one that I used to put my face on, the Princess Leia. I think that's more of the, is it the special edition release? I don't remember. There you go. So that's the shot. That's probably one of the most iconic way in movies to introduce a bad guy. And it's amazing because everything's white and he's black. The stormtroopers are white. They're the bad guys, but there's some black in them. And he's all black. And he's just there. And you know that this guy or this thing or this robot is not going to mess around. He's walking through dead people and he's like, yeah, okay. Where's the girl? You know? So iconic shot. Iconic shot. I mean, there's so many villains and he's probably the most recognizable one. Of course, he's wearing an helmet and a mask, but you know what I mean. Okay. Let's continue here. Again, great props also. Great sets. I mean, just look at this set. This is so iconic to the Star Wars universe. Every panel, every button, you don't know why they're there, but it's like, okay, that's Star Wars. I know it's based on most of the planes from the Great Wars, and some great planes actually looked like this back in the days. But it's a great idea. It's a great way to show that these guys, they don't have money. They have just enough money to work their magic with what they're able to find. They're actually kind of also Jawas, because Han Solo actually fucked up the Falcon, but he upgraded it and he's always working on it, and it looks like an old flying war machine. Anyway, and I realize that I'm only talking in English, but I mean, if I start talking in French, this show is going to last 3 hours. That one group of musical notes just as the logo appears. Yes, that's how it just exploded in your ears. Yes, and sears itself into your brain. Yes, exactly, like. It's like, oh! And I've already told that before, but I'm going to say it again. As a kid, my favorite music that I was listening as a kid until 1995 or 96. So for 11 years. Well, not 11 years because as a toddler I was not listening to much music. But I've listened for many years John Williams stuff and movies soundtrack. No voice, no music with voice. I loved Elvis because he died when I was very young, and my dad purchased had a few Elvis records, and I've loved Elvis. He was probably my first like hero or music favorite guy. Anyway, and then it was Cher. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, so I was listening to soundtracks as a kid until 1996 when I discovered Genesis and Phil Collins, but the old stuff. Uh, okay, let's move on. Click. Of course, that's an iconic shot. How can you not be afraid of this thing? Look at this face. I mean, the red eyes. Well, yeah, yeah. Is it? Yeah, it's red. Is it Photoshop? No, it was red back in the days in the episode. And the great thing, if you want to see something cool, go check what Adam Savage did recently on Tested. He went and talked with the guy, the two person that recreated Vader's helmet for Obi-Wan, the Obi-Wan series, and they actually use this helmet to make sure, well, to create the one in the Obi-Wan series, and they go into really great details on this version of the helmet. I mean, this guy just shows up, he doesn't sit down, and he choked his coworker, like, shut the fuck up. How cool is that? Even as a kid, you wanted to do this in the cafeteria. Like, go up to the bully or go up to that stupid idiot, and like, I find your lack of faith disturbing. Yeah, choke on your fucking reason, dickhead. Everyone would have loved to do this. So, I mean, he's a badass, but he's like kind of cool, man. With the gloves and stuff, like he's wearing amazing gloves. Like, yeah, you can actually feel the power in his hands just by looking at his glove. Okay. Are we still good? Yeah, we're still good. Okay. We're 4 minutes over our budget. Doesn't matter. Again, iconic shot. And why am I showing the sand? I'm showing the sandcrawler is because go take a look. There's so many buildings around the world in big cities that were actually built to mimic the sandcrawlers. There's a hotel in Tunisia. There's even something in Quebec City over here. I think it's the Museum of whatever. There's many buildings that they did that actually look like the sandcrawlers. So go check that out. You'll be surprised. Of course, the barbecues, the future barbecues, the future meal. Blue milk. The reason why I'm showing this is, of course, it's Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen, but she's putting up the blue milk. Iconic, again. And love the fact that you can actually go there. That's the set still exists in Tunisia. Go check it out. You can actually sleep there for a night. If I would have more money and a lot more courage to travel, and I would love to go check that out. The set is still there. Okay. Yeah, I think we try all the fun on someone at least once in our life. Yes, I did. I tried it last night on Kristen Lee. I'm kidding. Kristen is way too far from me for the choke. The forced choke would actually work. Come on. Okay. I think perhaps I tried it on my dog and it worked. She's still asleep. Okay, let's move on. I want to go through all those pictures. Well, I mean, when you're talking about iconic shot, I mean, come on, that's amazing. The set is so simple, but is so great. The colors, uh, Leia, R2. You show this to someone anywhere in the world, they're gonna say that's Star Wars, man. Okay, this shot also the X-wing. I'm just gonna say this about the. I keep on saying that I'm not gonna talk about it, but here I am again. Uh, in the special edition, I think that's probably my favorite shot that they changed or they didn't they not gonna say redo, but CGI'd. So yeah, iconic shot again. I mean, look at this. I mean, that's you cannot recreate that shot. Not even in the Rise of Skywalker with millions of ship. That's the shot. That's the shot that gives you goosebumps. You know. Okay. Let's move on. Of course, we've got our friend, the Sand People, the Tusken Raiders. And what I mean, I would have loved to spend the night with spend not the night. I would have loved to spend an evening with Ralph McQuarrie and say, "Man, what kind of stuff do you smoke?" He creates so much amazing characters out of his mind, and well, probably George did help him a lot, but I mean, that's amazing. That's those aliens are just great. Anyway, of course, how can you not talk about the stormtroopers? As you might guys know, stormtroopers was actually used in World War II with by the Nazis, and trust me, you didn't want to cross stormtroopers back then. So I'm pretty sure George used that term, that name, for the same reason. They're amazing. I mean, they're so amazing that mine is right here, and his name is Kirk. I was. It's something I never thought I would be able to have. I'm out of focus. Uh, to have a stormtrooper full size, that's how much for me they look amazing. So iconic character. They're just great. Okay, so stormtroopers for so many reasons, so iconic. And this shot, I almost purchased a painting. I think it was at one of the Comic Cons. Someone painted that shot on a huge board, and it looked great. Uh, yeah, just by seeing this shot, you actually can hear the music in your head. And of course, you can go check the homestead. It's still there in Tunisia. They rebuilt it. Fans actually rebuilt it a few years ago. Sadly, they didn't go shoot over there, so Lucasfilm and Disney did not rebuild it. So no one is actually taking care of that place. So it's sad. But anyway, it's still there. You can go check it out. Of course, I was talking about the iconic hologram of the Princess Leia, and come on, I mean the trash compactor. They actually used that stick, that part, in the Mandalorian. They brought it back. It's so iconic, and it's a piece of metal thing in the trash compactor, but everyone recognized it on the Mandalorian. And of course, the view from a TIE fighter in the trench run. So you again, iconic. This shape of the TIE fighter. Trench run. And yeah, if you didn't believe that Vader was a badass when he showed up at the beginning, this shot actually told you like, okay, this guy is not like only bad. He's like strong and crazy. So yeah, and the voice of Gilmore Jones, classic shit. And of course, the Wookiee without his medal. Was it a good idea to give Chewie the medal in episode 9? Yes. Why? Because it's actually Han Solo's. So I understand why they decided to give him the medal. But yeah, he should have had a medal. You get a medal. You get a medal. Everyone should get a medal. Okay. R4D, R4D5, or 5D4. Backwards, see? Dyslexia. Yeah, and again, that's an iconic droids that you actually only see for a few minutes, and now he's in The Mandalorian. He's back, baby. And again, the introduction of the beginning of the movie. I mean, again, I would have loved to sit down with the person that actually created the Star Destroyer. What a ship. What a ship. This thing is like New York in hair. It's as big as a city. My city over here is not probably as big as that. You know, so what a classic ship. It was so great to see them and actually see this one with the X on the top right here, that thing. It was great to see it again in Rogue One. I was really impressed by Rogue One. Anyway, and there's me with Chewie. Again, the heroes, great shot. Oh, my face gone, back, gone, back, gone. That's prettier. Of course, I mean the Falcon is iconic, but again, the land speeder. I mean, I remember receiving the land speeder as a kid, so I was really young. It was probably my brother that played with it more because I was really young. But I remember it was in my in my toy box, and I loved the fact that you could actually like feel the springs on the wheels, and that was as a kid like ooh, springy. Again, amazing shot with Obi-Wan in the Falcon. You actually can see the dice. There they are. The dice are right there. This is not CG. That's the real stuff. That's the real set. The dice are right there. And of course, I was talking about the Falcon. I mean, come on. Again, you're going to ask someone, name a ship, name a spaceship that you know. I'm pretty sure it's like asking someone, name a vegetable. You're going to say carrot. Name a color, red. Name a ship, the Falcon. It's like, yeah, you know what I mean. Of course, Carrie Fisher, the amazing, beautiful, no bra in space princess. Wait until we get to Return of the Jedi. Yeah. Okay. Chewie playing chess with R2. And the barbecue, sadly. That I was traumatized as a kid. I remember that it took me some time to realize that there's actually 2 dead people right there. And this is heavy. When you think about it, this is heavy. Burned people for a kid movie? That's heavy, man. That's actually like, whoa. And you get attached to those 2 people because they're okay. They're nice. They're Luke's family. So it hits hard when you're a kid. Like, Jesus, they kill off those 2 nice people. Anyway. Okay. I gotta run. No problem, man. Have a great evening yourself. I'll be out in minutes because I've been blabbering. It's going to cost me a lot of money tonight. I'm 17 minutes off my regular time, but we're almost done. Okay. And of course, I mean, the cantina scene with the band, iconic. Again, great shot. Love the fact that everything is white. And we're back at the beginning of the pictures. So let me get back here. Let me take this out. There, okay. So, I mean, yeah, it was amazing. It was an amazing movie. Still is. I think it's going to be watched for generations. Yeah, I don't think something as big will ever be made again. So, guys, thank you for hanging out with me again this week. Merci d'avoir été là cette semaine encore une fois. This was the 36 Vintage Kids. So, I mean, that little something that I wanted to start every week is going pretty well. So, let's keep doing this. Next week, either I'm going to go with Empire, or what I want to do is I'll actually show you guys the deleted scenes from A New Hope. Probably most of you guys already saw them, but anyway, I'm going to think about that. Either I'm going to go with Empire or the deleted scenes, or we'll see. Again, if you have suggestions, si vous avez des questions, if you have questions, vous avez des suggestions, vous pouvez toujours communiquer avec moi. You can share this podcast with friends. You can actually share Yoda's workshop or Facebook group as usual. And again, thank you very much for hanging out with me. I love doing this. So, as I always say, be good, be safe, be wild, be you. Have a great week. See you, some of you guys, tomorrow evening. And merci. Take care, take care, my friends. See you around. May the force be with you always.